Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex and Morbius, come out to play, hey? So we're gonna take a look at Morbius today. He's a pretty cool character. He's pretty dope looking as far as his skills go, and as you will see, he's also kind of strong. He's not bad at all. He's not bad at all. Morbius, come out to play. So we're gonna talk about Morbius today. We're gonna take a look at his skills here. I think Morbius is a very interesting. Well, we had a chance to do something there and we couldn't do it. I think Morbius is actually a very interesting character because unlike most speed types, or excuse me, unlike most combat types, he has a lot of crowd control. So he's got Entice for 3 seconds on his third skill there. He's also got Paralysis on his fourth skill. Here. Well, not there. Ooh, he tanked all that damage. Oh, and then he died. Wow. That was actually the first time I've ever died with Morbius. Okay, so we're gonna go back and look at the character and then talk about what just happened. But again, it's the classic, you're using a debuff leadership to enhance the character's all defense down for world boss. And now before you ask, I did try Morbius in PvP because he's got a lot of, well, he's got damage reduction, super armor, all defense, healing, but no, I don't think Morbius is good for the current PvP scene. If they change PvP around, well, not if, when they give us a massive, beautiful, expansive, top to bottom A to Z rework on Timeline Battle and Alliance Conquest, maybe Morbius will be good for that. So what did we just do with Morbius to pump out that much damage that fast with no strikers at stage 60 with this build? And by the way, this build is, I mean, it's semi-expensive. You can see the HP Odin's Blessings don't really matter. I threw those in more for PvP than anything else, than for PvE. But I'm ranked 25, so I'm not even the highest star agent here on this build. We've got capped out attack speed and crit damage, ignore dodge, and cooldown with 20%. Regular dodge. Sorry, I said ignore dodge, ignore defense. It's pretty easy to cap out his skills because of his stat bonuses. And then we've got a CTP of energy. So he was able to do that much damage with a CTP of energy. So I think he will be kind of comparable to Amadeus Cho. I think that would be probably the best comparison. Maybe a little bit worse than Amadeus Cho in terms of damage or damage potential because he doesn't have that increased crit damage cap that Cho has. But I think he will be possibly more fun to play because he has more traditional cooldowns and he's a little bit more survivability because of the fact that he has so much crowd control. And the crowd control is actually really good against Proxima specifically. So yeah, we got a Power of Angry Hulk here. We've got nothing on the type enhancement. Let's go to the skills now and see what Morbius is working with. So his tier 2 passive, once you get him to tier 2, he gets 30% damage reduction and skill damage bonus damage. So that's a big chunk of offense and defense. His first 2 skills are pretty normal, but because his second skill has all defense down, you don't want to use it. I know that sounds weird, but you don't want to apply minus 35% all defense down because his 5th skill and his awakening skill, Blood Hunt, have more all defense down. And you know how it works where it clashes and you have you set the highest cup and yada yada yada. So yeah, you just don't use Fatal Uppercut if you're playing World Boss. If you're playing another game mode, you can use Fatal Uppercut, doesn't matter. His third skill is really where it starts to get juicy. He gets Entice for 3 seconds, which is awesome. It basically is like Charm. It's similar to Charm. He gets a heal. And then he also gets a 45-45 buff. 45% all attack, all defense, and 45% crit rate. Yeah. Now, the healing is interesting because it's not just a traditional heal. You can see it recovers HP equal to 10% of the damage dealt to the target. Okay, 10% of that. However, it's capped at 7% of his max HP. So whatever your Morbius's max HP is. So my Morbius has 67,000 291 max HP. So that means if I multiply that by 0.7, you can do, or you can do up to 4,700 damage. Obviously, that's really easy to do 4,700 damage. So basically, after the very first hit of Vampire's Wrath, you will hit the cap for the 7% max HP. So having less max HP on Morbius is technically better, but it doesn't matter because it's such a small number. If it was no more than 70%, if that cap was much higher than 7%, it might matter to build him with less HP, but it doesn't matter. So you can pump as much HP into Morbius as you want. However, 7% per second is really bad, right? Well, 7% of the max HP is bad because it's only 4,700. But then you see that it reactivates every 0.3 seconds. So that means he's actually recovering 21% HP per second, which is really, really good. Okay? At least that's how I understand that it's supposed to work. I could be wrong though. And then we've got Blood Drenched Bite, which has incapacitation and 2 seconds of paralysis and a 40% all attack buff. So that paralysis is really nice for keeping Proxima locked down. So you've got 3 seconds of here and 2 seconds here. So he's doing 5 seconds of crowd control with every rotation. That's really good. And then his 5th skill has, again, more bleed and stun. Of course, he's a vampire. And then he's got minus 60% all defense down like Amadeus Cho. And he's actually got some penetration, which is interesting. Barrier, shield, and immune. That's why I thought he might be good for PvP. Because he's got healing and he's got damage reduction and he's got some penetration. But alas, he is not. His other passive, his 4-star passive, gives him super armor all defense, so you don't have to worry about getting guard broken. And then his leadership is actually just 30% max HP for all allies. So it's actually not bad for PvP on like a lesser Alliance Conquest squad. Now, the big one here, Blood Hunt. I don't really like his Awakening skill, I'll be honest. I think the Awakening skill for Elsa, Moon Knight, and Morbius needs more damage. I really do think it needs more damage because it's a very long animation. But then the damage doesn't really compensate for that long animation. So you've got a whole bunch of self buffs, obviously. You've got a little bit of a damage proc for 50%. And then you've got the big, juicy minus 70% all defense down. So whenever you see anything above minus 55, whenever you see minus 60 or minus 65 or minus 70 or the coveted minus 75, or if you're crazy and you're Holiday Lady Deadpool, minus 80, that's when you want to use a debuff lead, like Enchantress with the uniform or Enchantress without the uniform, White Fox, or Dr. Voodoo. Currently, there are only 3 characters in the game that have the debuff leadership. We're hoping to get another one. But yeah, so his minus 70% all defense down bumps up to, we're gonna cancel 4. I want all the buffs basically. I canceled 4. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Anywho, and then we're going to paralyze. Oh, we got interrupted. That's so rude. We're gonna entice here. So yeah, that minus 70 all defense down actually gets bumped up. I said don't do 2 and then I did 2. I'm trying to talk and play at the same time. I'm so dumb. Anywho, the minus 70 all defense down gets bumped up to minus 98. Okay, so basically what's really cool about Morbius, if I'll be able to show it here, is that you can interrupt Proxima when she's going to try to do her spear attack because of his all of his debuffs. You know what? We're going to have to go to a higher stage. So I'm going to try to show you guys this. It's a bit tough to show you, but we're going to go up to stage 70. Again, without strikers. We're just going to do this team up here. Unfortunately, Morbius is a villain, in case you're wondering. So you can't take advantage of Coulson or Nick Fury. Now, he doesn't need the super armor anyways, but it would be nice to get a few better villain buffs, villain support characters. So we're going to charm. Oh, we procced too early. Whatever, it's fine. We're going to hit this here with the all defense down. And then we're going to proc again on 5. Procking on 5 with the all defense down is actually quite good. Anyways, I'm not doing this for damage so much as I'm doing this to try to show you guys. I'm missing all my procs. But I want to show you guys that he really interrupts Proxima a lot from attacking. And if we can also hit our procs in the meantime, that'd be great. So, see, he interrupts her to the point where she doesn't really get a lot of attacks off. Right? Okay, we're having a bit of a hard time here. We got snared. So that would have been the perfect opportunity. Okay, if I wasn't a big chungus, that would have been the perfect opportunity. But basically, you have the 3 seconds of entice. You do the 5th skill. Once that's done, you do the 4th skill. You paralyze. You see, and then you go back into the charm. So you get her basically locked for a good portion of the fight here, right? Now we're gonna paralyze. Now we're gonna charm. Oh, don't do 2, dum-dum. I wanted to press 1. I swear, I wanted to press 1. I'm getting snared a lot. That's maybe the only problem, is the snaring. But yeah, what you can do... Did I not press 5? What's going on? Come on, game. Anyways, what you can do is when you see the... if you kind of have to get it on target, but if you see the text saying that Proxima is going to use her spears, and then you use... Don't get snared. And then you use the charm skill, you'll actually interrupt her from doing the spears. It's really awesome. I'll try to get it to work so you guys can see, but it does make him quite a bit more interesting than some other combat types, because he has basically a lot of crowd control. But sometimes you kind of have to get lucky. Do it, Proxima. Do it! Okay. Oh, he tanked that. Okay, she's being kind of a special one here. But yeah. All this with the CTP of energy is quite nice, especially without strikers. But yeah, believe me when I say that it's quite interesting. Okay, you're gonna do it here. No. Okay, so I messed it up. I was a little bit late. I swear it's real. I swear, guys, you gotta believe me. I swear it's real. You gotta believe me. Oh no, you son of a. Okay, she's obviously trolling me now. She just did it again, back to back. All right, Jonathan, you're controlling the game right now. Okay, Jonathan, I see you. Anyways. We're not used to being able to crowd control Proxima like this, right? Because we don't bring in characters that traditionally have entice skills or mind control skills into Proxima because they deal energy damage, right? So that's what I find quite interesting about Morbius. But she's just being, yeah, she's being a, you know, yeah, I don't really like the damage on the Awakening skill. His 5th skill does a lot more damage once you stack the minus 98% all defense down, and he's got long cooldown. He's got long application of the all defense down. Like, it's not short 5 or 6 seconds. It's what's that? 7 seconds there, and then it's 6 seconds there. So yeah, but he fills it up quite quickly. He's got 7%, minus 7% there, and then minus 16% there. So you know what you could do actually. You might be able to one-shot with Morbius, because minus 16 is a lot. I didn't even try a one-shot. All right, so for Morbius, I think what you want to do is co-op cancel 3, cancel 6. And then hopefully this should work. And it does not work at all. Yeah, no. Okay. Maybe he can do it. Maybe I can do it. We'll have to practice that. I was just curious because minus 16% all defense down. I wasn't actually using his 5th skill, but minus 7's okay for filling the cup. It just takes a while, but minus 16 is actually a lot. I'm just not sure if he has enough damage on 5 once the cup, like to fill up the cup and then do damage on 5. So yeah, he might not have what it takes, but I'll tinker with that. But yeah, Morbius, very interesting character. Not sure what his application is going to be outside of World Boss and things like that. Not sure if he's going to have damage outside of World Boss anyways, because unlike Amadeus Cho and Mystique, I did compare them, but he has he's got a lot of damage, but he doesn't have accumulation like Cho does, and then he doesn't have as many buffs. He doesn't have accumulation or as many buffs as Mystique. So I think he might be somewhere in between or somewhere below Mystique and Amadeus Cho, but he's right around there. And unlike them, as a combat type, he has some very interesting crowd control abilities. Sort of like Mystique's copycat on her third skill, where she clones a character and she confuses the enemy, but more consistent because he's got 3 seconds there, and then he's got 2 seconds of paralysis there. So yeah, sort of a mixture of the two characters. Kind of interesting. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Michael Morbius, the living vampire. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.